Laura Elizabeth. I hope this video finds you doing well. Tomorrow is Super Bowl Sunday, so I wanted to show you what tasty foods I'll be bringing to the Super Bowl parties I go to. So if you're looking for a tasty, quick, nutritious recipe that people may initially raise their eyebrow at, but by the end of the party they'll be loving it, then look no further than my Cheezy Kale Chips. The ingredients you will need for this recipe are half a cup each of sunflower seeds and hemp seeds. Usually this recipe calls for cashews, but I wanted to try it with hemp seeds because it is a complete protein. You will also need 1 red bell pepper, the juice of half or 1 lemon, 2 tablespoons of nutritional yeast, 1 to 2 heads of kale, and then a bit of salt. Normally I use this pink Himalayan sea salt, but my friend got me for Christmas, thanks Alice, a whole collection of really deliciously tasting salts, and this is a sriracha pepper salt, so I want to try it, make it a little bit spicy of a cheesy kale chip. If you don't have the sriracha pepper sea salt, then you can also just do your regular sea salt with a bit of cayenne pepper added. You want to heat your oven to 300 degrees, and then you simply add all of your ingredients into your Vitamix. A high-speed blender really is going to be preferable here. And I'm going to add a dash of the sriracha salt. So you don't need to add any water because you want it to be pretty thick because you're making this into a paste that you can coat your kale with. You then want to wash your kale and break it into pieces about this big. Then you take your cheesy, spicy sauce and drizzle it on top. Now, I really like the flavor of kale, and so I like a good ratio of kale to cheese sauce. That's why I said you use between 1 and 2 heads. So start with a little bit, you're gonna get your hands dirty, massage it in, and then you'll place it into your cooking dish and place it into the oven. I want people to know that it is spicy, so I'm gonna add a few shakes of crushed red pepper flakes, just so you can see that. It also makes it just a bit spicier, so I'm a-okay with that. All right, here we go, dirty time. So after a little bit of work, you will have some deliciousness that looks like this. I used 1 head of kale and about half of the cheese sauce because this is about the consistency that I like. Now you want to make sure that when you put it in your pan or on your cookie sheet to bake, that you don't overfill the pan with kale. So 1 head of kale for me has filled 2 of these pans. That way you ensure that you get a nice crispy kale chip. If you want to keep this recipe completely raw, you simply place your kale into a dehydrator, set at about 100 to 115 degrees, and let them dehydrate overnight. They will be equally delicious, but take a bit longer. Any of the leftover cheese sauce can easily be used as a dip or even as a dressing. Place your kale chips in an oven preheated to 300 degrees, and then pay attention to your chips because ovens vary, and depending on what type of baking dish you bake it in, the time varies a bit too. So tonight I did a glass dish, and then I also had a metal dish, and the metal dish got done in about 30 minutes and the glass dish went about 45-50 minutes. So keep an eye on them, but eventually you will have something that looks deliciously like this. It's nice and crispy, and it's gonna be so good. So there you go, a super simple recipe that you can take to any party. It's really tasty and it's also a nutritional powerhouse. The kale is really light and crispy, and the seeds, especially the sunflower seeds, get a really like nutty flavor, and then you've got the cheesiness from the nutritional yeast, and at the very end you get a little bit of the heat from the sriracha salt and also a little bit of the red pepper flakes. So I hope you enjoyed this recipe. If you do, make sure to like it, share it with your family and friends, and if you have a favorite kale chip recipe, leave a comment below and I'll be sure to try it. So thanks so much for joining me. I hope you have a great day. Bye-bye.